13,890. But how did I get that number? And how is that even possible? Over 10,000 Grand Prix? What would that even look like? Well, I'll answer all those questions for you right here. Mario Kart World releases on the same day as the Switch 2, June 5th, and it's shaping up to be a massive game with a huge open world to explore. In fact, the file size of 23 gigabytes is 5 gigabytes larger than the biggest first-party Switch 1 game, Tears of the Kingdom. But here's what I'm most excited for. This is the world map of a Mario Kart game. And as you can see, the courses that are located on the map are connected, meaning you can drive directly from one course to an adjacent one, which is cool on its own for free roam, but Nintendo also used this mechanic to change how a Grand Prix works. Instead of just teleporting to the next course after a race, you now spend the first 2 laps of a race driving directly to the course, and then you do 1 full lap around the actual course instead of 3 laps. In other Mario Kart games, you can make a custom Grand Prix out of any 4 courses. So with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which has 96 total courses, you can use this simple formula, find out how many unique Grand Prix combinations you can make in that game. And that number is 79,727,040. Sounds like a lot, right? But in this context, it doesn't really add much replayability. It's still the same 96 courses, just in different combinations and orders. But in Mario Kart World, if you were to do something like reverse the order of a Grand Prix, you now have an entirely new experience. So that got me thinking, what if Mario Kart World had a custom Grand Prix mode? What if you could make a Grand Prix with any 4 courses that are connected to each other? Here's an example. Let's start here at Mario Bros. Circuit. For our second course, we can pick any of these 10 connected courses. Let's pick Peach Stadium, because that's in the middle of the map. For our third course, we can pick any connected course except for Mario Bros. Circuit, since it's already in the Grand Prix. Let's pick this course that I think is Choco Mountain. And then for the final course, we can pick any of the connected courses here except for Mario Bros. Circuit and Peach Stadium. We could even go all the way to Bowser's Castle from here. And that's just one of the possible paths to go, just when starting at Mario Bros. Circuit. How many total Grand Prix can we make like this? But it would take way too long to find that out by doing it manually, and I don't think there's any simple math formula that could solve this since not every course is connected to each other. And that led me to utilize my computer science degree from the University of Maryland to create this very, very basic Python code. I think I could have made this in my freshman year, to be honest. So what's going on here? Let's start with this, the world map. This is known as a dictionary in Python. It's basically a list of key value pairs where you can access a value by using a key. So for my world map dictionary, I used strings, which are basically just the coding term for words, as the keys to represent each of the 29 known Mario Kart World courses. Each course name maps to a list of course names that represent the courses that are connected to it. And if we look at the actual world map here, you can see that Desert Hills does connect to these 5 courses. Now, after I manually inputted all of this data, it's time to get to the fun stuff. Depth First Search. Depth First Search is an algorithm used to traverse graphs or data structures. Here's how it works. It explores as far as possible along a branch before backtracking until every path has been traveled. For my specific data structure, this is all I need to make the algorithm. This function takes in 2 parameters. Path is a list of the courses that are currently in the Grand Prix, in the order that they would be driven in. Current is the name of the course the algorithm is currently at. The first thing my DFS does is loop through our current course's neighbors. For each neighbor, we check if our path already has enough courses to make a Grand Prix. If it does, we add it to a set of the total Grand Prix and move on to the next neighbor. If we can still add more courses to our path, then we call DFS again, but this time with the neighbor course added to the path and as the current course. And that's it. Now all we need to do is run through every course in the world map and run DFS on each course. And all that's done here in Find Connected Paths. The graph value here is going to be the world map dictionary above. Starting course will be empty by default, but if we want to know the total possible Grand Prix when we start at one specific course, we can input a course name here to get that value. Grand Prix size is 4 by default, but we can change the amount of courses in a Grand Prix by increasing this number. For example, Knockout Tour would use 6 courses here. Every failed Grand Prix gets added to this set, which is our return value. To get the number of Grand Prix in a set, we simply print the length of the set. And that's how I got this number of 13,890. Wow, almost 14,000 unique experiences. And if you want more unique experiences, you should subscribe to this channel now. It's free. But what are you gonna be? Part of the 98% sheep that aren't subscribed, or the 2% wolves that are? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Now let's say I wanted to find out how many Grand Prix there could be that start at Desert Hills. I made a new variable using find connected paths with Desert Hills as the starting course. This value turned out to be 296. And finally, I was curious how many knockout tours you could make if there was a custom knockout tour mode. So I ran the function with Grand Prix size equal to 6, and that output 645,734 total possible knockout tours. Now, I was thinking about not even making this video, because in the recent Mario Kart World Direct, this feature wasn't announced, meaning it most likely isn't going to be in the game, at least at launch. However, they did confirm that you'll be able to do a versus race on any of these connecting highway sections. So if they already have a programmed race for every highway in both directions, it wouldn't be much additional programming to add custom Grand Prix. All it would require would be adding a seamless transition from every highway to the course it's heading to. We can actually use my world map data structure to find out how many transitions that would be. It's equal to the amount of highway paths there are times 2, one for each direction. And by iterating through my entire world map, that number comes out to be 236. Don't get me wrong, 236 is a sizable amount of scenes to create, but the amount of work required for each course transition is much less than creating all 236 highway races, which they've already done. So even if the game launches without this feature, I could foresee them adding it later for free to justify that $80 price tag. And to end this video off, we know that Rainbow Road will for sure be in this game. They even teased it at the Mario Kart World Direct. So technically there's at least 30 courses, not 29. My world map data structure is slightly wrong, meaning every number I provided in this video is gonna be slightly off. But we don't know for a fact what courses connect to Rainbow Road, or if it even does connect to any courses. A version of the world map was apparently briefly shown on the Korean website, which included Rainbow Road here. But I decided not to include this in my world map, just cause we're not sure of the details. And with that, thanks for watching. If you think Nintendo should add custom Grand Prix into Mario Kart World, make sure to drop a like, and comment the word Bingus just so I know that you watched all the way to the end. If you're not already subscribed, I do mostly Melee, Pokemon, and Overwatch content on here, so if that's what you're into, I'd really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.